You're forgetting names. You walk into a room and can't remember why you went. Words disappear mid sentence. Your motivation has gone quiet. Your weight is creeping up, even though nothing in your diet has changed. Your libido has faded. Most people, they chalk this up to aging. What if the biggest driver of these changes has almost nothing to do with age and everything to do with your hormones? If you're a midlife woman or a man who's tired of being told everything looks normal when nothing feels normal, this channel is for people who want real answers, not reassurance. Most people think hormones only affect hot flashes, libido, or muscle mass. That's a fraction of the story. Your brain is one of the most hormone sensitive organs in your body. And when hormone levels drop, it's one of the first places to feel it. Estrogen increases glucose metabolism in the brain. That means it's directly fueling how your neurons produce and use energy. It supports mitochondrial function, it improves synaptic plasticity, and plays a critical role in acetylcholine signaling, the neurotransmitter most associated with memory. Estrogen also reduces neuroinflammation, and chronic inflammation is one of the central drivers of cognitive decline. Progesterone, it supports myelin repair, the protective coating around nerve fibers, and it promotes neuronal health overall. In men, testosterone supports cognition, mood, memory, and vascular health. Though the evidence here is still evolving and worth watching closely. Understanding what hormones do inside the brain is one thing. What happens when they start to decline and how fast that decline changes things is where the real conversation begins. The brain doesn't fail overnight. It changes slowly over years, and that window is exactly where intervention matters most. During perimenopause and menopause, estrogen levels drop sharply, and the brain's energy metabolism, inflammatory load, and repair capacity all shift with it. For men in andropause, declining testosterone is linked to reduced neuroprotection, increased vascular risk, and mood disruption, a combination that compounds over time. Brain fog in midlife isn't just a feeling. It reflects real changes in how the brain is metabolizing energy and managing inflammation. Here's where the research becomes really hard to ignore. A study of nearly 380,000 women tracked over approximately 10 years found that hormone therapy users had substantially lower rates of Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, dementia, multiple sclerosis, and ALS compared to matched non users. The associations were stronger with longer duration of therapy and stronger still with formulations containing natural estradiol and or progesterone, not synthetic alternatives. This doesn't prove hormone therapy prevents Alzheimer's. What it shows is a strong association. And when you layer that on top of decades of research showing that hormones influence brain metabolism, mitochondrial function, and synaptic health, this is a conversation we can no longer afford to skip. Which brings up the question most people never think to ask. Is there a point where it's too late to start? The answer might challenge everything you've heard. I put together a free guide called The Too Late Hormone Mythbuster that breaks down what the research actually says about timing, age, and when hormone optimization is still on the table. Pause the video and grab it now, or find the link in the description when you're done. Timing is one piece of the puzzle, But the type of hormones used and how they are combined with a broader strategy changes the picture entirely. Not all hormone therapy is the same, and the difference in outcomes between formulations is significant enough that it changes the entire risk benefit calculation. The study found stronger associations with natural estradiol and progesterone, not the synthetic progestins or conjugated equine estrogens used in older research. This distinction matters because bioidentical hormones are structurally identical to what your body produced naturally. They interact with receptors differently than synthetic versions. Duration matters too. The protective association in the data were stronger for women who stayed on therapy longer, not on short-term use. The window of opportunity, sometimes called the critical window hypothesis, suggests that starting hormone optimization closer to the time of decline may offer more benefit than starting decades later. This doesn't mean it's too late if you're already in your 60s. It means timing is a variable worth discussing with someone who understands the full picture. Once you understand how hormones affect the brain and why formulation and timing shift the outcome, the next question is, what does a complete strategy actually look like? Hormone optimization alone isn't a complete protocol, and treating it like one is where most approaches fall short. Dr. Dale Bredesen's work reframes Alzheimer's not as a disease with a single cause, but a process driven by multiple overlapping factors like insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, poor sleep, toxins, vascular health, and hormonal decline. Hormone replacement therapy is one important piece of that strategy. It creates a hormonal environment where the brain can function, repair, and protect itself. But without addressing metabolic health, inflammation, sleep quality, and nutritional gaps, you're solving one variable and leaving the others untouched. This is why the action steps matter as much as the hormone conversation itself. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and you're experiencing brain fog, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, declining libido, or memory changes, don't assume it's simply aging. Measure your hormones, measure inflammation, measure insulin resistance, measure your metabolic health. The brain gives us years of signal before it gives us crisis, and those years are the window. Knowing what to measure is the first step. Knowing what to do with these results and who can help you act on them is where the path forward gets clear. The evidence isn't asking you to wait for a diagnosis before you start paying attention to your hormones. It's asking you to treat brain health like the long game it actually is. Now, you're probably wondering what a comprehensive hormone and metabolic health plan actually looks like in practice. Click the video on the screen, and I'll show you right now. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and a share. That helps us significantly so we can continue making great videos for people like you who need it.